Arthur, realizing where the secret door was, happily ran towards it. There were 5 pieces of rubble there. He had to put the shape related to the password of that door on it so the door would be broken and he could escape from there. Arthur had to put the stones together in a way so that the shape of the code was complete and the door was broken with the magic power in the heart. Arthur remembered the shape of that particular cross in the cemetery painting. He tried to put the stones together to form a shape similar to that broken cross. After some efforts, he finally managed to put the stones together correctly. At this moment, underneath Arthur's feet began to tremble. He took refuge in a corner out of fear. The shaking was getting stronger and stronger, like a big earthquake was happening. Suddenly, the secret door was cracked and completely broken, opening a way to escape. At that moment, everything was covered with dust. The concentration of dust was such that Arthur could not see even a few centimeters of himself. Arthur calmly waited for the dust to settle. Then he walked slowly and moved forward and took a few steps. He had reached hills of stones, dirt and sand. He went up the hill, then down the other side. When he started to move and took a few steps forward, Arthur realized he had left the previous room, but he didn't know where exactly, as if he was in a new corridor. Strange sounds could be heard in this corridor. First, the sound of chatter filled the entire corridor. It was as if someone saying, "Devil's house, you're dead. Devil's house, you're dead." Then a sound like the running of a horse filled the entire corridor. And after that sound stopped, a woman started laughing. These sounds reminded Arthur of the time he saw the evil beast for the first time, and he was filled with fear. At this moment, a red light turned on at the end of the corridor. When Arthur carefully looked at the end of the corridor, he saw a black object suspended in the air. He started running to reach that point, but as he got closer, the unknown object became fainter, and when he reached the end of the corridor, the object disappeared like a mirage. At the end of the corridor, on the left wall, there was a painting that was drawn as follows. The first picture, a farmer was drawn who was plowing the land with a pickaxe. In the second picture, the farmer was collecting weeds with a rake. In the third picture, one of the 3 prongs of the farmer's rake was broken and he was looking at them. In front of the painting, 2 pieces of wood, which were similar to 3 branches and were almost the same size, were lying on the ground. Now Arthur must find the relationship between the sticks and the painting to successfully open this door as well. Taking into account the previous experience that he had arranged with stones next to each other, similar to that different cross, Arthur went to the sticks to shape them like the broken rake in the painting. But only 2 pieces of wood were available, and for this he needed 3 pieces of wood. Therefore he took one of the sticks that was a little longer and tried to split it into 2 halves with his teeth. After some efforts, he was finally able to do this and form the desired shape. Then he placed the resulting figure on the wall in front of the painting. Suddenly there was a sound like the breaking of a tree trunk, and at this moment the wall broke and was falling on Arthur. Here Arthur realized the danger and quickly ran to the middle of the corridor. When the wall fell on the painting wall, he slowly walked back to the end of the corridor. He realized that the wall was made of wood. Arthur glanced up. The exit was above, so he went up through the wooden door, which was now like a staircase. After reaching the top of the door, he again faced a long and dark corridor. A few steps further in this corridor, he smelled a strange smell. At this moment, Arthur's heartbeat increased and fear filled his being. He said to himself, shouldn't this path be a trap to go to the devil's lap? It was at this moment that the sound of a horse running came again, and a voice repeated the same words that Arthur had heard in the previous corridor. Devil's house, you're dead. Devil's house, you're dead. After the sound stopped, a woman started laughing again. After this incident, every now and then, two fiery flames flickered at the end of the corridor. Arthur was nearing the end of the corridor. Unlike the previous corridor, what he saw was real. Those flames had burned the end of the corridor. The heat could be felt from several feet before the end of the corridor. Now, he could smell cooked things. Finally, Arthur reached the end of the corridor, but the heat was so hot that he could not stay there for more than a few moments. He turned back a little so that the heat would not bother him. Arthur began to look around for a sign to escape the fiery corridor. He saw a painting in the right corner just behind one of the flames, but he has to wait for the fire to die down before he can see the painting clearly. Now he doesn't have much time to waste. The fire went out. Arthur also quickly ran to the painting to discover the secret of the painting, but not a few moments later the fire was lit again. At this moment, when Arthur was standing in the corner of the corridor and looking at the painting, the tongue of the fire reached him, and when he wanted to run away, the flame reached his hair and caused the hair on his back to start burning. Arthur did not know how to put out the fire behind him, so he started running at high speed, but the situation worsened and the fire spread. He felt a burning sensation in his back, but he did not know how to get rid of the flames on his body. This feeling of pain and burning increased more and more. At this point, Arthur decided to roll on the ground to help put out the fire. He rolled on the ground and rubbed his burning back against the cold, damp ground. After a while, the feeling of burning and heat gave way to cold and burning. Now Arthur was in pain. Part of his hair was burnt and skin was exposed. But did Arthur manage to discover the secret of the painting in that short time? Can Arthur get home safely? Share your opinions with me in the comments. Stay tuned for the next episode. Take care.